In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to self-host n8n on DigitalOcean completely for free. I'm going to be showing you step by step on actually how to get DigitalOcean on n8n completely for free, and then also a step-by-step tutorial on actually how to configure everything. If you don't already know me, my name is Ashton. I've been helping business owners implement AI systems to save time, cut costs, and drive growth. So without further ado, let's jump into a quick overview on why I think you should switch to self-hosting versions on n8n. And then from there, we're going to be showing you how to get it for free and deploy n8n as well. And before we actually get into how to self-host n8n on DigitalOcean, I just want to run over some of the benefits and some of the key factors on why I think you should self-host n8n, particularly on DigitalOcean. So there's a few overall pros right here. Number one, you get the completely full version of n8n, which is known as the Community Edition, for free, right? You get 3 to 4 months of hosting on n8n with a 99.9% guaranteed uptime. And then after those 3 to 4 months, it's only $5 to $10, which ends up being a fraction of the cost on what you would pay for n8n, with limitations as well to their software, which is what I'm going to explain now, right? And with this special offer that I'm about to show you, you can get $200 in free credits, giving you 3 to 4 months of n8n usage on DigitalOcean, depending on how much you use. And I'll explain that a little bit later, right? Then from here, we have the cost comparison. So self-hosted versus cloud. At here, I'm going to be directly referring to some of their pricing. And as you can see, this is what it looks like at the moment. So we have the starter, the pro, the business, and then the enterprise. So essentially, to recap, we can get this enterprise plan, right, for essentially the fraction of the cost for $5 to $10 per month, right? And if we just compare everything at the moment, we can see the starter plan, 24 euros a month, and you only get 5 concurrent execution workflows, which essentially means 5 active workflows. And you also have a limit of how many executions you can have, which is 2,500 workflows, which essentially means one execution is like an execution of one workflow with all of your nodes right there. And we can see Pro is fairly similar, but it just has some upgraded features. So it has workflow executions, and then you can also have 3 shared projects, 20 concurrent executions, so 20 concurrent workflows actives, right? And then you get, admin roles, workflow history, and a bunch of other things. So to put it simply, you can get the enterprise version up here with everything, unlimited amount of the full access to n8n for, completely for free for 3 to 4 months, and then $5 to $10 per month after. So you can see kind of the comparison right here is the starter plan is $20 to $24 a month. Self-host on DigitalOcean with the full version is 5 to 10. Execution limits, unlimited, right? And then the pro plan costs, exactly the same thing. And then here is some of the annual savings that you can save right here with all the community features, right? So that's essentially why I think you should self-host on DigitalOcean instead of the n8n cloud version. Just to recap, some of the key benefits is obviously massive cost savings, unlimited executions. And then another thing I wanted to mention is complete data control. So you can actually have full control over your data, and that introduces a high security factor compared to n8n and the cloud version right here. And essentially what that means is, because we're using the n8n version on the cloud, which is the website version, obviously within n8n, that means all the data and all the executions and all the workflows that are happened is essentially running through, obviously, their servers, right? Whether a self-hosted version is running through our own servers. So that means we control the data, we have access to everything, right? And it's not going through any other third-party services, right? This is very, very useful when you're working with, laws such as in Europe, which is, GDPR and a bunch of other laws, right? So again, it introduces a factor of security and compliance, and you have complete control over your data as well, right? And again, superior performance. So you have access to your own dedicated servers, right? Which means better performance, right? There's no shared infrastructure slowing you down. If n8n for, whatever reason goes out or something happens, right? That means we have access to our servers and everything will be up and running, right? Full customization. You can also configure everything exactly like you want. You can install custom nodes, modify settings, and you get the full version of n8n. And then true scalability, right? So you can scale your n8n server, right, up or down as needed. You can add more CPU, you can add more RAM, you can add more storage as well. So that's essentially an overview of everything. Now let's actually get into how to deploy n8n completely for free. Okay, awesome. Now what you want to do to actually get this completely for free is you're going to need a referral link. Ideally, if you want, you can use my referral link down in the link in the description below. You'll get $200 free credit. So right here, you're going to need a link to actually get access to the free credit. So as you can see, I'm going to click this link right now. It'll also be available down below in the link description. So it's going to take us to this page, and you can see it'll pop up with $200 in free credits right now. So we can go ahead and get started. And now you need to make sure you're obviously signed out on all browsers if you want to get it for free. So sign up, create your account with Google. I'm going to create my account with Google quickly, and then I'll get back to you. And then we can claim the free credits, and then we can actually install it completely for free. Okay, and as we can see, this should be the first screen you should have once you have obviously used that link. So again, it doesn't really matter what you put in here. You can just put anything. We can just go through this quickly. And then you'll put into this little kind of workflow right here. Awesome. So your free credits should generally pop up soon. It will take like, obviously, I think around 30 seconds to do it. But now, as we're doing that, we can actually go ahead and install n8n right now. So before you obviously claim your credits, I think you will need to add in payment information. So to go ahead and click add payment method, and then go ahead and add your card and anything that you need to do. Because I think DigitalOcean just needs some payment methods on file. But once your free credits have been applied, it'll use that instead of your payment method. So I'm going to go ahead and add my payment method, and then I'll be back. Okay, and if you have done this right, you should see that your credits are active right now. So you have 60 days, obviously, to redeem your credits, which is 2 months. And then you get $200 of free credit right there. So you should see this. And this means that you now have access to $200 worth of free credit. So make sure you have this at the moment. And then now what we're going to do to actually deploy n8n is we can come down, right? We can go to the marketplace section right here, right? And then just make sure to agree. All right. And then we can see n8n, right? So go ahead and click see details right here. Again, it's super simple. You can come into n8n, and all we need to do is create an n8n droplet. Okay. And then once you have logged in, let's see, just get out of that. Okay, and then once you have created that droplet, obviously select the region that is closest to you. I'm going to be in Sydney because I'm in Australia. Come down, right? You can see that the n8n droplet has been installed, and then you can actually go ahead and select your plan. So for simplistic sake, just go onto regular and just select the cheapest runner right here. That's all you really need, and you can see how the pricing option is broken down. So essentially, it's all based on usage. So however much data and however many CPUs and data your obviously server uses, you're going to be billed accordingly, right? Again, it's very, very cheap. I think, unlimited executions, a lot of data coming through only comes about $10 a month. But as you got the free credits, you can do it completely for free at the moment, right? So again, just select your CPU option, right? Okay, and then from there, you want to create a root password. Make sure you have all of these password requirements. I'm just going to put in my password right there. And then from there, you should be all good. So you can go ahead and create the droplet. Now, that's the first part done. And then the second part that we're going to be doing is we're actually going to be connecting it to a domain, which is going to give you the ability to access it via the webhook browser. So as you can see, it might take probably maybe a minute. We can see right here, it's gone ahead and created the droplet, and then it's loading. So I'll get back to you once this has kind of created and it's created a server. And then we're going to go on to configuring a domain in all the DNS configurations. And then, okay, now that you have loaded into your droplets right here, so as you can see, this is loading. This should be created. Come into it. And now what you want to do is you want to create a domain and DNS configuration. So what I'm going to do right here is go into your domain provider. I'm using Cloudflare, for example, and you want to go into whatever domain you're using, and you want to create a A-list record. Now, before doing that, make sure to switch off the proxy status to DNS only. The type is A, and then the name will just be like n8n, for example, right? So n8n, and then the IP address. If we come back over to here, you can see that that's going to be the IP address that we need for our server. So we can simply just go ahead and come back here, put in the IP address, right? And then click save. You want to come back over to your n8n droplet, and you want to click this console version right here. Now, what this is going to do, it's going to open up the console version. We just need to configure and actually launch our n8n server inside DigitalOcean. So, right, so we can see the subdomain. So what is the domain? If we come back to here, should be n8n right there, right? So you can see, put in n8n and click that domain name. It's going to be whatever domain name, obviously, you have on your DNS provider. So mine is going to be this, right? Click enter. Email address can be whatever. It doesn't really matter what this is. Probably your own email, preferably. Click enter. Would you like to configure this as a time zone? Click no. And then as you can see, it's now going to pull everything from n8n as the droplet, and it's going to install its entire software and everything inside DigitalOcean right here. So this will probably take a minute, 2 minutes, and then I'll get back to you once everything is officially configured and it's done. Okay, and then once it is done, you should see something like this. You can see installation complete, access your new n8n server right here. So you can see, grab that entire thing, obviously do it before the end dot right there to your browser and just copy it in right here. And now you can set up your account. So before we actually do this, you need to put in an email, first name, last name, and password. So I'm going to do all of that right now. And there's going to be one last thing that I want to show you so you can get the full version of n8n. Okay, and then once you put in all your details, you'll be put into a little onboarding thing right here. So just click whatever, it doesn't really matter. And then from there, it should pop up with something like this, right? Get paid peaches forever. So essentially, this is activating the full n8n community version, which is what I was talking about earlier. So put in an email right here so you can receive your license key. So whatever it is, and then n8n should send you a license key. And then from there, we're going to be getting that license key and we're going to be putting it into n8n so we can activate the full version. And then you should receive an email. It should look a little bit like this, and then it should have your license key right here. Once you have that license key, copy it and then come back and then put enter activation key, right? Once you've done that, you should be able to put in your license key, click activate, and then you'll get the full version of n8n completely for free. Now, that's going to be it for this video. Hopefully, you learned how to self-host n8n completely for free using those $200 free credits. Now, please know, based on your usage, it's going to change. So obviously, the more you use n8n, the more that you're going to have to upgrade within DigitalOcean. Also, in order to update n8n, you're going to need to constantly keep deploying droplets and making sure you're updating all your droplets inside the console version so you can keep all your workflows. And then you can also get n8n and the newer versions of n8n as well. So without further ado, if you do want to learn voice AI systems and AI systems, I've got a completely free school resource hub down below in the link description where you can actually get started completely for free learning AI systems as well. So without further ado, I'll see you in the next video.